Alright, it's time, so let's go. Alright, so we're going to be doing some painting. But I need to do some planning first. I don't know if anyone's even here yet. I'll put this up so you can see what we're working on. There's the painting in question. This is my original plans for the painting. My very, super in detail original plans for the painting, which doesn't look like a crow at all, but it's a bird, so whatever. Yeah, there's a couple things I think I want to do. I was debating whether I want to change the legs. I feel like the legs are a little bit far back, so it's not quite balanced quite right. Like, it doesn't look like the bird's balanced quite right, but I don't know that I want to deal with that, so I might just leave them the way they are. Which means that I'm going to focus on this area down here tonight, which is actually going to be a little bit more multimedia than just painting. I think maybe I also want to paint the sides. I think I kind of want to make them like a darker color. Either like a dark brown, maybe dark brown. We might start with that. We might start with turning the sides dark brown. Well, I start thinking of what all we want to do in this area, because I have a few different things that are kind of, I don't know if I'd call them ideas or plans. I have a few different things that are kind of on the docket for that. So I think start painting the sides. I'm thinking maybe almost just straight like raw umber. Just a nice dark brown along the sides. I think this is probably the same brown I did. This one has some white and stuff in it, so it's a little bit, I would say diluted. I don't know if that's the right word. It's not as like pigmented. It's kind of watered down a little bit in color. But I think as I get to the ends here, it's a little bit more brown. Is this the right brown? I think that's the correct brown. So we're just gonna start painting the sides. We'll try it this dark brown. If I don't like it, then we'll do something different. And this is acrylic. This painting probably actually would have been better in oils. But there's pros and cons to acrylics and oils. Acrylics are nice because they dry really quick, which is part of the reason that I decided to go with acrylics for this, which is a pro and a con. Oils, can take weeks to dry, depending on, there's some stuff that you can mix in to make it, dry after 24 hours at the quickest. Oils take a long time to dry, whereas acrylics, I could go like that, and then it would be dry almost. Alright, I'm probably going to need, I don't know why I grabbed this brush. This is the wrong brush for this. We're going to paint the sides. I'm going to grab a bigger brush. There we go. Ooh, I wonder how I can do this so that it's maybe the best for people to see. Alright, well, you're just gonna have to deal with not necessarily seeing for the time being. Here, I'll angle it up. You'll be able to see me twice probably. But I wanna cover the side so it's dark, because it kind of goes darker. If you look at the painting, it's kind of lighter in the middle and then darker as you go out. I just feel like it'd be a little bit weird to just have it white on the sides when everything else is going to darker. Also, I want the focus to be like on all the colors and stuff. I feel like that's not as, it's not gonna, I want the colors to pop. I don't want the white sides to pop, because contrast is really what's gonna, show up. If you have a whole painting that's all bright colors, nothing's gonna pop. If you have a painting that's all dull colors, nothing's gonna pop necessarily. That's not necessarily true, because again, light and shadow and that sort of stuff and create contrast. But contrast is really what makes things, you know, show up. I feel like my style, when it comes to like painting and stuff though, I like doing a lot of things. Sounds weird. I do things very busy. And I've noticed with like pretty much all art, and I mean all art, including performing art and everything like that, you know, the use of negative space, of having nothing, if used well, really, really adds to the art. Like, you know, a comedian needs to know when to pause, when not to talk, to make things funny. And, you know, with you know, contrast type stuff, with painting and things, and visual art, knowing where not to paint or where not to have a whole bunch of busy things is a very good skill to have, because, you know, then it highlights the things that are busy, or it's all about that contrast. I'm just painting it brown along the side there. And I realize that I'm bad at that. I always really admire it when people are really good at that. And I feel like I just need to slow down on things is what it really comes down to. But that's really why I'm not great at watercolors. Watercolors is all about knowing where not to paint. With acrylic, if I paint somewhere that I don't want to have painted, I can paint over it. I can even paint white over it usually. I keep running my finger along this, by the way, so that I don't end up with like a really dark edge. I want it to kind of blend a little bit. I've watered my paint down a whole bunch because that's kind of what I did here. It definitely doesn't look maybe the cleanest, but I don't necessarily need it to be the cleanest. I feel like it's kind of the vibe I'm going for too. A little bit kind of messy. A little bit of everything going on. This is definitely the right color though. This is matching well, so I'm glad I found the right color. I almost don't need a face cam. I have basically 2 face cams at the moment. You get to see me twice. I mean, my head's cut off a little bit on this one, but on the big one. All right. This is the thing about painting, is I always end up a little bit of a mess. That's okay. I like messy crafts, if you couldn't tell by the fact that I do resin. I need more paint. I knew I was going to need more paint, but that's the thing about like acrylics versus oils as well, is that oils take less paint. And part of that is just because I think it goes further, but also because it stays wet longer, like I was saying, and so I don't have a bunch of paint that dries on my palette, usually. At least not as quickly, you know. I might have some if I leave it there for a couple weeks, but like, I'm not gonna have it dry on my palette as I'm painting, like it is like I do with acrylics. How's that? Can you see that? I'm gonna move this. There we go. Make it a little bit easier to see. Today's Saturday, right? I really don't care if it's a little bit messy over this side. I'm going to be, I think, maybe filling this in darker. Anyways, I'll show you the plans in just a minute and show you why I'm not 100% on what exactly I'm doing there yet. I have kind of two different ideas for what to do with this space. They're both basically the same, but it would change how I set stuff up. I think I'm leaning towards one over the other just because of storage and stuff, but we'll get there in a minute. But for now, we'll just make sure that the sides are not just stark white compared to everything else. Yeah, again, I don't need it to be the cleanest or anything. All right. Let's go around to the other side. I'm gonna do the same thing. This is gonna be probably the that's my issue. I need to flip this over. Okay. It's probably gonna be the least interesting part of this this stream. Just painting the sides here. Not even painting them, you know, particularly well or anything. So I'm just trying to blend it in a little bit because it's kind of slightly different brown. I had more white in this. Alright, let's get this all painted. That looks so terribly painted from that angle. That's because it is. Alright, let's get that a little bit darker. I think I'm probably going to have to grab a little bit more paint for the last side. Actually, maybe for this side even. To be fair, I think it looks worse painted on there than it does in real life. Which is kind of impressive, actually. Alright. Just fill this in a little bit. We need a little bit more paint. Need a little bit more paint. We're grabbing a bit more paint, actually. I always like a good, like, dark brown. I don't know, it sounds weird, but for painting, I feel like a good dark brown's always just nice to have. I'm going down like this again. This probably won't be a very long stream tonight. Do have daylight savings tonight, or is it daylight savings when it's both directions? It's the time changes tonight, and I think I have to get up earlier than I would normally because of it, if I'm thinking of it the correct direction. But it does mean it probably won't be a very long stream. We'll at least get some stuff figured out, though. I'll get some stuff painted. Alright. And one more side. And a little bit more to the, I guess the bottom. It's not going to matter as much on the bottom. Or maybe it'll matter more on the bottom, I'm not sure. bit more on the bottom. All right, and then we're gonna go to the top up here. And I'm gonna stick my hand in it apparently. This is the thing about painting on stream, is that on a little bit of a weird angle, it's not really too big of a deal. Especially when I'm doing this, it's nothing, you know, super complex I'm trying to do right now. But there's a certain amount of having to play to the camera. But we're almost done with this. And I'll walk you through everything else that I want to get started on. Like I said, this is the boring part. Exciting stuff will be in a minute. All right. I want to make sure I get around all the little staples. Okay. Now all of the sides are not stark white, which is what I was trying to avoid. I can actually go back to painting some stuff. So, what I want to start on, wait, so you guys can, you know, see the painting again. What I want to start on today is this section here. I think I'm going to just ignore the legs, pretend that they're fine. They're not so far off that it's a big deal. So I'm going to start working on this section down here. What I want to do is I want this bird to be standing on a pile of random, like, junk, basically. Just a pile of random bits and bobs, and some of it I want to paint, and some of it I think I want, some of it I'm going to attach other items. And I was just thinking about it, and I probably want to do the stuff that's going to be painted first. So I think this crystal here that it's standing on, maybe, it's going to be painted, and I think I want like maybe a pair of scissors sticking out here. You know, like this pair of scissors kind of looks like it's sticking out almost. So I think I want to start with those, and then we're going to go through a bunch of items that I have that we're going to start trying to attach to this thing. I probably should paint some other stuff too. See, what I was saying before about the darker color is I'm debating whether I want to paint in the shape with a darker color so that, you know, it has like a dark background. But I don't know how much, you know, depth I want, and I don't know how well things will stick to the paint versus the canvas. So I guess the canvas has paint on it already, so it's not really going to matter. So I'm gonna start, I think, by trying to at least get kind of a darker shape. The red is fine, but I don't know if I want to. See, I really should have grabbed a different brush for this. I keep doing this. I keep just grabbing the wrong brush. Although, to be fair, if I just do a whole bunch of this paint, it's not really going to matter. Let's just do that. And we'll use the big brush. Fill in this space. And that's just because I want it to be like a darker background so that it kind of recedes into the back. So once we start piling things on top of it, this will just kind of fade into the background. And I do want to cover up, you know, this red outline that I had as well. And it doesn't need to be the cleanest because we are going to be covering it. But I do want to kind of, you know, keep the shape here. We'll kind of use this as our guide for where we're going to attach things. A little bit of red poking through is not a big deal. Because we're gonna, it's, like I said, it's gonna be kind of a guide, so there's probably gonna be some stuff that kind of ends up on the outside of it and all that sort of stuff as well. Alright. We just want to kind of give it a shape. Make sure that it has like a, it's just kind of a background. So this is the thing with painting. You gotta kind of start out with kind of some of the basic stuff so you can start building on top of it. It's different depending on what kind of painting you're doing. I hadn't done any not acrylic. I've done acrylic painting for a long time. I hadn't done any oil painting until I took a painting class. When was that? Towards the beginning of, oh wow, that was back towards the beginning of 2020 actually. It's been almost a year. Wow, it does not feel like it's been a year since I took that painting class. Yeah, weird. But I took a painting class. I actually haven't done any oil painting since then, which is kind of a shame. I should do more oil painting. It's fun. It just takes, like, I don't know. You have to be able to have a space to leave your, because it stays wet for so long. You need to have a place for it to cure. That's the thing with oils. They cure, they don't dry like acrylics do. When I was taking it, I remember saying at one point that acrylic and oils are completely different things. Like, I mean, obviously they are, but I mean, like, is in terms of how you use them, like, they're different art. They're not, I don't know how to explain this, but you know, acrylic painting is all about layering things, and oil painting is all about sculpting things. And that might sound a little bit weird, but I mean that in the sense that with acrylic, I'll put down one color, and then I will grab another color, and I will put it down on top of that previous color, and you build up your different shapes and colors and stuff depending on how you put those layers. But with oils, since they don't dry, you're kind of just taking the different colors and pushing them around the canvas until they're arranged in this sort of shape that you want. It's just very different to work with. And they're both fun. They're both fun, don't get me wrong, but they're very different. I think I usually work with acrylics more, even though I enjoy both, just because there's a certain amount of, not easiness of like painting, but it's easier to use acrylics because you don't need as much extra stuff. You know, oils, you have to have, you know, like a paint thinner, where there's acrylics you can just use water. You have to have the time and space to let your paint cure with oils. Whereas with acrylics, you know, it dries so fast. That's actually why I started doing acrylics. I took a painting class back when I was in high school. I took it at the local community college. And we had the choice of doing either oils or acrylics. I chose to do acrylics because I needed to be able to take the bus to and from school. And there was no way I was going to be able to take an oil painting on the bus. Whereas with the acrylics, by the time I got, you know, out of the classroom, it was dry. I could just, you know, carry it. I wasn't going to get paint all over everything. That's just kind of the thing. They're very different. And it, you know, it comes down to personal preference and stuff too, but I do really enjoy both. I just think of them as completely different mediums. Alright, so let me just This is broken out well. Like I said, this is just kind of a background that we're painting at the moment. Just kind of filling it in so that I have something to then layer everything else on top of. And I'm making it dark so that it will recede into the background. And then once we start layering things on top, hopefully they will pop. We're just doing a nice raw umber at the moment. I really like a good raw umber, like a burnt umber, one of those. Good, like, I don't know, kind of neutral-ish, but warm-ish brown. I don't know, I feel like it's just always a useful color to have. I guess it's kind of funny in this painting because it's completely different from the crow here. Like, this is all, it's very, very, like, warm, dark colors, and this has very, very cool dark colors because it has, like, some teal and some blue and some purple in there. And, like, a very blue-ish black. There's a hair here. Might be a cat hair. There's always cat hair. I get cat hair and everything. But let's get this filled in. And I'll start pulling out. Actually, wait, do we want to... Maybe I should... I gotta decide what all I want to paint on here as the base and what all I want to add. Because, like I said, the plan is to add a whole bunch of stuff here. Like, not paint stuff, but like other real life stuff. I'm gonna try attaching it to the canvas. I love doing multimedia stuff. But I'm debating whether it might be nice to paint some things just to give it some depth. So, you know, if I paint, you know, a pair of scissors or something, which is why I had this pair of scissors out because I was thinking of doing like kind of a pair of scissors sticking out of the side here, something like that. Not like an actual pair, but like a painted pair. You know, it'll add some depth. So I'm not sure. And, you know, I was doing painting a crystal here. Yeah, I think I will end up painting a crystal here. Just because I might actually I might want to do some layering too. Like some of this stuff back here, paint it, make it look like it's receding into the background a little bit. I just got to figure out what all I want to actually paint. And what, because, you know, I have things that I want to add. Pair of scissors. I'm just going to do a crystal here. What else should I paint on here? That's a real question. If anybody has any ideas. I'm going to grab a smaller brush. This one's getting a little bit big for what I want to do. What's the one I have for? Perfect. I don't need too much more. Just filling in a couple of little spots here. Right here. And back here. And part of the reason that I think that's going to need to be painted, partially because I think I want it to be heavier as it gets to the bottom and stick out more as it gets to the bottom. That'll make it look more like it's a pile of stuff that it's standing on, I feel like, because it, you know, it'll have kind of that conical shape. But also because, you know, I already have a little bit of depth of this leg being in front of this leg. So if I made it so that there was things that were sticking out back here, it wouldn't really make sense if then this one was painted or something. You know, I want to keep in mind the actual, like the two-dimensional figure that I am painting to look like it's three-dimensional, as well as the actual three-dimensional space that we're in. Alright, and then this one's going to be a crystal. let me grab a crystal. Let me grab a crystal shape to look at. References are always useful. Oh, random crystal shape to look at. Here, let me see how the light hits this. And the shape is it's gonna be kind of lighter there. Okay. Figure out what color we want this to be too. Maybe blues. I think maybe like a nice light blue. Oh. Don't do that. It's bad for you. You don't want to get paint in your mouth, but so, you know, don't do as I say, not as I do. Don't eat paint. I grab a little bit of this nice light blue, a little bit of this slightly, oh gosh, slightly darker blue. And then a little bit of white. Where's my white? Ooh. Where's my white? I always need white. Maybe I should have pulled these out before I started. Oh, you can use this one. Let's just try. I'm going to try painting a crystal here. So much white. Okay, there we go. It's still a little bit damp around it, but I'll let that dry off a moment while I start thinking of what else I want to do here. So I'm going to do this crystal here, and I think I want maybe, you know, like I said, a pair of scissors kind of sticking out from behind the pile over here, and I want to do that in slightly more muted colors, just so that it recedes to the back a little bit. And then, you know, some stuff back here. I'm not sure what yet, maybe. Maybe I can make it look like it's just standing on like some sort of little charm, or ooh, a spring might be cool. Maybe it's standing on a spring. I like that idea. And then I'll show you what we've got to start giving it some actual three-dimensional depth. My tea's still warm. It's a miracle. I always forget about my tea until it's super cold. Alright, I'm just kind of figuring out the shape with some white here. It's part of it was because I noticed when I held this up, where I am, that the sides weren't necessarily illuminated, but I could see where there was like light reflected off of all of the kind of intersection points. So, you know, it was, you know, highlighted here and along here. And it's not super important that this is like completely accurate or anything, but I do want it to be recognizable as a crystal. You know, I want it to be able to tell what it is. But let's start adding some color. And I think the light is kind of coming from the top a little bit, but it's also, you know, a little bit, you know, the feet here are casting a little bit of a shadow. I'm gonna add the colors a little bit randomly. Part of that's just because I don't quite know on the colors, but we're gonna come back and make it a little bit more accurate. I just want to make sure that I have the shape in there at the moment. I should probably look up, quite honestly, a better reference than this. Maybe do I have one that's clear? I think I might have a crystal that's clear. That would be a better reference than this. I'll grab one that's clear. See what I got here. There we go, perfect. I kind of imagine this thing as being kind of clear. Let's grab a clear little crystal shape. And that'll give us a better idea of where the highlights and everything are. So that's going to be interesting. Well, like I said, let me just get the basic shape in here first, and then we'll worry about all of the colors being correct, because they're not at the moment. And I am just kind of having it fade into here at the moment, and that's because I expect this will be covered. It's going to end up, you know, covered by everything else. My brown's not dry. I added too much water, I guess. Let me get around the claws there. Yeah. Okay. So we have kind of the basic shape there now. Let's see here. I almost just stuck my paintbrush in my tea. That would have been bad. I did that the other day. It was not my smartest move. But I was a little bit sad. I'm like, no, my tea. Okay, so again, I have a crystal here. And when I'm looking at it, this side is the lightest. Let's grab a tiny bit of white, a tiny bit of blue, and just the smallest amount here. And that would be this side over here. This side's the lightest, absolute lightest. Just grab some white. I'm probably driving my painting instructor mad at the moment by mixing things on my brush instead of mixing them with a palette knife on my palette. I know that that's like the proper way to do things, but I'm also just super impatient. So I'm getting some of the brown in here because it hasn't quite finished drying yet, but that's okay. So that's the lightest, and I think this one's the darkest over here. Looking at my reference here. It's always kind of weird. I always feel bad like looking at like reference photos and stuff, but that's how you do it. That's how you get things to look good. It's like the darkest right here. And there's actually a spot that's like even darker. I'm gonna kind of blend that together because the way that this is kind of set up, do I have an open ultramarine blue? I don't know that I have an open one of these. We're gonna open this one. Go even darker. I'm gonna kind of add some of this darker blue, kind of along the edge here. It's kind of, it's almost like there's kind of like a darker line here almost along the edge, and then I think there's kind of like a lighter, so that like this white spot here, this white line is good. I'm just going to add kind of a darker section right next to it. It'll actually hopefully make it pop even more. But I'm going to add some darker blue in there. Yeah, it really depends on, there we go, let's, oh yeah, there's like straight up like really dark line in here. And then actually I'm going to add the white back slightly different. We're going to add it kind of further down almost. It almost transitions into like the wider line there. That's not bad. And that one's lighter. Grab the white here. We're going to add that kind of bright line in between. And then I think this actually, this part should almost be a little bit lighter, especially over on this side, because if I want it to look like it's kind of see-through, then I need to have, you know, some of that light that's showing through. Bring that a little bit lighter, but bring back some of that middle blue. There we go. And we're going to add a little bit more of that white. A little bit more of that white in there. And we'll show you what we've got so far. Maybe not the best crystal, but this is hopefully not going to be the focus of the piece. It's going to end up kind of receding into the back a little bit. There we go. And let me just add a little bit of some of this lighter over along the side. It's not quite, it's a little bit too light, but we'll add some more of our slightly darker tones. It'll help even things out a little bit. Alright. It looks vaguely like a crystal. I almost put that in my tea again. I'll show you my vague crystal there that it's standing on. It's vaguely crystalline. I think I can see where I could put another like lighter line to really kind of highlight things a little bit. I think that might help, and then we'll call it good. There we go. I think that's good enough. It looks vaguely crystalline. I say that, and then I'm going back to grab some. It needs something on this side make it stand out a little bit from everything else. Good enough. All right. Okay, I keep saying that and then I keep going back to it. All right. And like I said, I just have that kind of fading out because it's going to be covered up by stuff. All right, next thing, I think I want a pair of scissors that's kind of sticking out from the back a little bit. So let me find my oranges and red colors, and I want to make it a little bit muted. So I'll pull out my brown, again. So I think we're going to want this red. And I'm probably going to want, I think that yellow, probably my cadmium yellow, medium. Oh, here's my white. Here's my smaller bit of white. I was looking for that. Alright. I have all sorts of random colors in here. Do I have two? Oh no, that's Grumbacher red versus cadmium red. I think I want the cadmium red. And I'm gonna look at the actual paint. Maybe. Let's see what they look like. Oh, I think I want the Grumbacher. This one's a little, the cadmium's like a little bit more, it's the cooler toned. The Grumbacher's a little bit warmer toned. And since I'm going for more of a, a red, yellow, orange, I want it to be a little bit warmer toned. What's this yellow? This one is dead. I'm going to add this to our stack of things to maybe attach to this canvas. Yeah, I think that's probably going to be good. And then we're going to have our silver here. Because I kind of want it, I'm going to make it a little bit smaller than this, I think. But I want it to kind of be like sticking out from the stack back behind a little bit. Maybe kind of a little bit at an angle. Yeah. And then we need to figure out what this foot's kind of standing on back here, because I kind of want a little bit of depth there. Yeah. So silver, I guess I'll pull out the black, and we have the dark blue there, and we have our white. I've got all of the paints out now. Alright, so for this, let's see if we can make that nice orange color, and this one I will actually use a palette knife for, just because it's going to be easier. That's probably going to be way too much red. That's the thing, a little bit of red goes a long way, I've found, when mixing colors. If I can get my paint open. A little bit goes, do I want this yellow? Yeah, we'll go with this yellow. I think this is the only yellow I have, actually. Alright, we're turning into an ASMR paint mixing video here for a moment. Yeah, see, it's maybe a little bit too red. Yeah, it's a little bit on the red side, so I think I want to add a little bit more orange. Do I have a slightly, at one point I had a slightly cooler, yellow color. It was almost like a fluorescent yellow. This one's a little bit warmer. It's a little bit more of an earth tone yellow. I don't know if I have any of that left. I might have used it all. Well, we're going to add some more of this yellow then. I am making a rather bright orange at the moment, I know. But we're gonna tone it down a little bit. I don't know if I want to do that with white or with brown yet. Both of those will make this slightly less saturated. And the reason I'm not sure is that if I add white, it'll, you know, still definitely look orange and stuff. But it'll stay, you know, lighter colored. Whereas if I add the brown, it'll be darker colored. And it being slightly darker colored might be good because it'll push it towards the back. But at the same time, am I going to have light on this back there? I think I want it to look like there's light on it. I'm again thinking back to like an end plein air drawing that I did. And to make things recede into the back, you kind of make them more and more kind of a hazy bluish color. And to do that, I didn't actually mix anything with blue. I just mixed things with white to push them back, and I mixed them with yellow to bring them forwards. Because those paintings are all about sunlight and that sort of stuff. And so, you know, sunlight's actually cool toned, but you think of it as being, you know, kind of warm. So you mix in those yellows. And the opposite, you know, you have your purple, but you mix in those yellows and it makes it warmer, and it makes it look like the things in the background are cooler. So this might be a little bit light now, but it's close enough. I think it would be recognizable, which is kind of what I want. And it's actually very close to this one. That's kind of funny. So do I want to add a little white or a little bit of? You know what I might do? I might just paint in the shape with this, and then we can dry brush some stuff over it. We'll do some of the lighting and stuff with some dry brushing maybe. So here's the shape that I want to do. Oh boy. That's the brush that I want. I guess this brush will work for me. This is going to be somewhat nerve-wracking. It's always kind of nerve-wracking. So I think I want that to be kind of over here, and I don't want it to be too big. I'm just trying to get kind of the basic shape in here, and then I'll come back over it with more paint. Okay, I might have done it a little bit too close because I do want to have a little bit of the silver showing just so we can tell that it's a pair of scissors. Maybe do I want them kind of open? Maybe I want them kind of open, so like that. Yeah. I'll have these down here. Just think of this. These are going to be about the same width, and then this is going to kind of swoop up like this, and we're going to have a slightly bigger opening. All right. Just want to make sure that I have my shapes correct. Let me show you my rough shapes here. I don't know if you can see them very well from there. My very, very rough shape of scissor handles. And then we'll fill those in with a little bit more pigment and then add some shading and whatnot. This yellow is not very opaque, I'm realizing. I'm pretty sure it's the yellow in here. It's just not really opaque, and so it's not really covering well. So I guess we'll end up doing a couple layers, which we were gonna do anyways, just because of how I was talking about building up the color, but it's just kind of unfortunate. Wish it had showed all the color a little bit better. well, we'll give that a second to dry then. That's fine. It's thicker on my palette at the moment than it is on the canvas, so it should dry faster on the canvas than it should on the palette. Which hopefully means that I'll be able to do another layer after that's dried. Get another drink of tea. So we'll paint these scissors, and then we'll start talking about the things we want to add. And again, I don't think it's going to be a very long stream tonight. Maybe like 2 hours. It's probably going to be a slightly shorter stream. Just because, like I said, there's a time change for me tonight. I do actually have to get up tomorrow. I'd say, yeah, I have such a late schedule, which is great. But it's just kind of, I'm not going to talk about, I have to get up at 10 tomorrow. I know people have to get up, I guess what is today? Today is Saturday. Oh, I guess before it's Sunday, most people don't have to get up super early. Probably, but it does kind of sound silly on my part if I'm complaining about having to get up at 10 a.m. So early. Alright, we're gonna make my art teacher mad again. We're gonna mix some stuff with my brush. The main thing with mixing paint with your brush is that it doesn't mix as evenly. So you might end up with streaks and stuff. The thing is, it doesn't really bother me. Like, I don't know. I'm fine with it. And the light's kind of coming from above, so I'm going to kind of add a little bit of a shadow there. Start adding shadow on the inside of this one. One of the things that I should probably work on getting better at is perspective. I'm not great at it. Perspective and proportion, those are the things that I am the worst at. If I have, you know, if still lives I'm okay at, you know, if it's in front of me, it's fine. But just being able to figure out, like, the angle, where the light, you know, how I should make it so that it looks like the light's hitting it properly and that sort of stuff. I've taken, you know, took an architecture drawing class and stuff too. You'd think I'd be better at it by now. Like, I have done this stuff, but it's just, I don't know. But that's why I have this pair of scissors here that I'm using as an example. Because it does help. It does help to have references. I should do a still life again. I enjoy doing still lives. Still lifes? Still lives sounds weird. Doing a still life. I like I like painting. I like painting with references. No, I do enjoy doing a good still life. I haven't done, you know, a ton of it in my day. I haven't done a ton of still lives in my day, but I have enjoyed the ones that I've done. I don't have, oh, well, I have, you know, there's a still life that I did. That one's in oils. There's a still life that I did. That one's in acrylic. Still happy with how that flower turned out and the lighting in that. Yeah. I don't know. Still lives are fun. I'd be interested in doing like a figure drawing class or something too. I've never done one, and I feel like it'd be super useful because I'm really bad at drawing people. But I feel like, you know, having that sort of I don't know, just practice would be good. So I'd be interested in doing like a figure drawing class at some point. That'd be nice. I think I'm gonna grab, you know, this actually kind of worked out with it not being super opaque because it kind of did make it, you know, go back a little bit because of the brown background. It kind of muted it a little bit. Kind of worked out. Kind of worked out. I'm probably still going to grab some of this orange to do like the highlights here. I think that might be useful actually. Because of the way the light hits it, there's, you know, ah! My brush! you? Because of how the light hits it, there's spots, because there's kind of raised edges and stuff, the light reflects off of it. And I might actually use a little bit of white right along the edge here. There's this part right here that's raised, so it's really light compared to everything else, because the light's hitting it more than anything else. I'm going to do, I think, a little bit more of that sort of stuff too. And it's angled in such a way here that it also has the light reflecting there, and up and around here. And I'm just using a little tiny bit of white, and then I'm kind of feathering it out a little bit so that it's not quite as intense. You know, I don't want it to be so shocking that it doesn't even match or anything. I do want it to kind of show where it's raised a little bit, where the light's hitting. And add a little bit more around this side as well. There's also a little bit of a line here. And let me, my brush is trying to fall apart again. And then add a little bit more of the brown. Now that I can paint it a little bit. It's kind of blending in with the orange bit, which is fine. And then I'll show you what we've got so far. So on here, it actually comes down like this. I wanna, like I said, I'm just kind of adding that and then feathering it out a little bit, just so we can tell where those lights and darks are without being, you know, without it looking like it doesn't match or anything. All right. All right, let me show you how the scissors are looking. Still need to do the silver part of the scissors, but let me show you, oops, those scissors versus, oops, these scissors. There's our scissors right there. You can see the light's kind of coming from a slightly different spot. That's because of the angle that this is at, but I tried to kind of set it up so that the light in my room was coming from kind of the same angle that I think the light's coming from in the painting. You can kind of see there's the scissors right there. Slightly different orange, and that's okay. I think it's still going to be recognizable as what it's, you know, supposed to be, which is the important part. Let's add our silver part. So for that, I am actually going to use a little bit of black. I don't usually use, you know, black. Black's not really a natural color, but it's just going to be a quick shortcut for me to make kind of a gray. So let's use that. We have our scissors down here. Let's cut kind of an angle. So let's get our black, and I'm just gonna, I think I'm gonna do the same sort of thing again, where I just kind of give it the shape, and then we'll come over it again with our other colors, because that just seems to be the easiest for me. So let me get, I'm just gonna go in with like this black, and then we will come back in with our other colors. I just want to make sure that I have the correct shape and everything. That's kind of the main thing at this point. I want to make sure I have the correct shape. I don't necessarily like where that ended up. That's kind of unfortunate. I mean that in the sense that I wish I could see where they connect, because it looks kind of disjointed. I'm wondering if I can pull this forward a little bit and angle this slightly differently. I'm just thinking now. It's fine. It's fine. Uh-oh. Why am I unstable? Why does it say I'm unstable? How long have I been unstable for? Uh-oh. Is my Wi-Fi having issues? Oh, weird. Huh. Can everybody still see and hear me? That's weird. I wonder if my internet's having issues or something. Sometimes this computer that I'm on likes to just conk out, which is very useful for streaming, but I'm not going to complain because a friend gave it to me for free for using for streaming, which was very nice of them. And again, I'm not too worried about making a little bit of a mess here, you know, with this direction, because this is going to be covered. It's going to be covered. I plan on putting other stuff here. It's kind of in front of it. And so I can be all wishy-washy and it'll be fine. It still says my connection's unstable. How's my internet connection doing? It says it's fine. I can Google things. I don't know. I wonder if it's a problem on my end. I mean, I'm assuming it's a problem on my end since it says my connection's unstable. On Twitch it does anyways. That's just kind of weird. Okay. So then let's do the same thing we did before, where I'm going to look at this pair of scissors under the light and kind of roughly the same sort of angle that I think these are at. And then we're going to try and add some colors in the correct spots to do some highlights and shadows. So I think this is actually, this paintbrush is having issues too. Having all sorts of issues. This actually needs to be a lot lighter, so we're just going to add a whole bunch of white at the moment. I got issues. You got them too? Alright. It's a lot lighter. We want it to match, you know, have the brightness of the orange here as well. I probably should have made the kind of black outline a little bit smaller. What's going on here? Poor network connection detected. Sorry, I just want to double check on this because it's being all funky. Oh, now it says it's fine. Now it says it's fine. All right, I don't know. It was just mad for a second there, I guess. So this is kind of why I like acrylics, because like I was saying, it's all about kind of layering things. And that's kind of what I'm used to at this point. I totally just messed up the shape of this. And see, this is what I'm talking about. I want to be able to go back over it. And redefine the shape a little bit. And that's useful. The thing with oils is that it's harder to layer things. But I need a little bit more of that brown. I made it just a little bit too wide. I added too much white. Made it a little bit too wide, so we're just going to take a little of this brown and just kind of try to... And I realize that the brown's really dark at the moment, but I'm mixing it with this white, and then it blends into the background. It works out just fine. Look, it almost matches. It just kind of matches. Alright. It's a little bit better. It might still be a little bit wide. This is the crow feet all over again. It's just like, it's just slightly off. Do I really want to try and fix it? Or do I want to just leave it? This one I'll try and fix while I'm over here. The crow feet though, they're just going to, the legs are just going to stay where they are. I'm not going to try and fix it at this point. It's just going to be more, I'd probably just mess it up more if I tried to fix it at this point, which is kind of why I'm not. There we go, that's a slightly better shape. And if you look over here, you'll probably be able to notice that, there's kind of a darker outline around this, but that's okay. It'll be fine. Alright, and then let's go back to our white here and start filling in some on this side as well. Because that's kind of what we were doing. I was just trying to kind of lighten up the scissors here. Because I noticed that for the most part, it was all lighter. It's all more of a lighter silver color. And then we're going to add in our highlights and our deep shadows and stuff. So I have my pair of scissors here. It's kind of at this angle. So I think there's going to be kind of a... I've got that already. Kind of a dark side because I have the light's coming from like the top, and this side's gonna have kind of the same thing a little bit. I want it so thin though that you can't necessarily see that side. You just kind of see a little bit of the dark, and there's a little bit of dark under here. Kind of a little bit of dark here too, because there's just a little bit of kind of a crack almost. And this has a little bit of kind of a smudge here, because that's where it's open a little bit. That's kind of where it normally rests. So we're just gonna add a little bit of that as well. Make it look like, oh yeah, it should be swiveling a little bit. All right, I think that's recognizable as scissors. I think that's recognizable as scissors. I'll show you. Maybe not perfect scissors. And I'm actually going to really quickly just kind of cover up part of this, just so that my brain can, because this part's actually kind of covered. There, now that'll be easier for me to think of it as sticking out of that now. The blades are maybe a little bit thick, I don't know. It at least looks like scissors. I don't know, maybe it looks like it's outlined a little bit too much. Maybe I should have done slightly lighter gray along the side here. I think it's good enough though. I plan to have enough stuff here that it's not going to be super noticeable or anything. I do need, I think, one more thing that this claw at least is holding on to. I might end up painting some of this stuff up here a little bit later. Yeah. Or just paint something that's not even recognizable. That was my original thought, was maybe this guy's holding on to like some sort of like moon-shaped charm that it found. So like that. I should make that a little bit darker. It's not going to just be white, because I want it to go to the back a little bit, but make it kind of standing on something kind of silver. Doesn't, you know, doesn't need to be anything super interesting or exciting, but it, you know, it should be standing on something. Yeah, let's just let me just fill that in. It really doesn't need to be anything super exciting. Now maybe I'll add a little bit of some sort of color under here, just so it looks like that's resting on something else. Let's just add, you know, a little bit. Here, we got a little bit of this orange maybe. We have a bunch of this orange. Let's just add a little bit of this orange here, so it looks like it's sitting on something. I don't know what this is necessarily. It's just going to be kind of a shape, I guess. Now it looks like it's, you know, sitting in front of it, whatever this is. I hope to have enough other things, like I said, that having a few, you know, squares of color isn't going to be super noticeable or anything. Maybe I'll actually make this back here, this orange as well. So it's not just the brown back here. I'll leave that part brown maybe. The brown's fine. I don't know, maybe this is some sort of, I don't know, a little box or something. It's fine though. Alright, let me show you. I don't know how much we'll start adding today, but let me show you. Now, I'm kind of sad. I have a whole bunch of orange left now. It's not going to save very well, but I'll put it in here anyways. I have enough orange. Maybe I'll end up using it for something else soon. I doubt it, but I'll put it in my little saving container. Alright. I'm actually going to put the paints away now, start showing you some of the other stuff that I have. Ah! I just accidentally threw my paintbrush into my water cup. That's not what I wanted. Let me set some of this stuff to the side. I'm going to show you my box of random junk that I pulled out for this painting. And I'll show you kind of what the plan is. Maybe we can start adding some stuff tonight. Don't know. So, the plan here is I want this crow sitting on a pile of random, you know, bits and bobs. So I have collected a bunch of random bits and bobs because I'm a little bit of a hoarder. Let me set this off to the side for now. I'll start looking through. Actually, no, I probably need that. Come here. I'm just gonna put this off to the side. And I'll flip this around so you can kind of see the bottom there. Alright. Okay, so you can see the bottom there. I have all sorts of random bits and bobs that I want to maybe attach to this pile. I have all sorts of random things. There's part of a keyboard. Don't necessarily need to use that. I have some pieces of a shattered mirror. So that might be kind of fun. They're nice and reflective. I have a broken saucer. I was hoping to fix it at one point, but I'm missing a big chunk. So, you know, it might be cool to add part of a broken saucer. I don't know if I'll do that part. I feel like this isn't as interesting. Although this could be, you know, behind things. I can layer some things too. So part of what I was saying before is I have two kind of ideas for this painting. And the idea is either to turn it into a sculptural piece where it sits upright and then has an actual, like, overflowing pile of junk that, like it sits on like a pedestal, and then there's junk that cascades all the way to like the floor, and it gets like bigger and bigger pieces. Or to do it as a painting where it will hang on the wall, and then it'll have pieces that kind of hang from it, which I think is going to be the way I go. And I don't think I necessarily. Hello. I can walk you through what I'm doing. I have my, I'm gonna add to my random pile of junk here. I painted a little crystal and a little pair of scissors just because I wanted some things in the background. But I have my box of random bits and bobs, as well as some other stuff over here. And I'm kind of deciding, you know, what all I want to add to this thing. My original plan was for the crow to have like a string of like beads hanging from its mouth, like it was holding him. And I was thinking that I could have it, and not like a necklace or anything like this, but like a string. But I don't know. I feel like it might get in the way a little bit. But I did totally, you know, walk around my house earlier today and pull stuff out of my random hoard of things. There's a completely broken paintbrush. There's no end to it. So I have all sorts of stuff. That's part of an old keyboard. I actually do have a plan for my name. So when I do paintings, I like to add my name as part of the painting, almost, like make it so that it looks like it's, you know, I like to make it so it's not super noticeable, I guess. I want it to like blend into the painting. And so my plan for my name, I found some things with, that's actually a 1. I could do an I, but I thought that would be fun. Add that to the pile of junk for my name. I have all sorts of random stuff here. So let me show you some of the stuff we have. Let's see, there's a piece of headphones, piece of wire. This is a big tassel that I thought could be hanging off of it. I think I'm gonna do it as a wall hanging piece, so that it would be on the wall but has like things hanging from it. I have all sorts of stuff. Some bottle caps, seashell, all sorts of things. I think I definitely want some color in here. I feel like this is all kind of neutral at the moment. Let's, what do I have that's maybe some brighter colors? Oh, here's a little dinosaur I found. Little mushroom. Some of this stuff is things that, you know, might be better to have hanging. I did also, where did I set them? Over here. This painting's becoming a forbidden stim toy. I like making tactile, that's the word I'm looking for. Tactile art. Like I think I mentioned this at one point, but there's a painting I might still be hanging in my parents' hallway wall. It's not like interesting to look at or anything, but I literally just put a whole bunch of like paint onto a canvas so that I could like touch it whenever I walked past it. It's just like, ah, yes, perfect. I want to touch the paint. I have some dice here. Probably, you know, add some of my failed dice. This one might be good. Here, I'll show you the real forbidden stim toy thing, though. I have switches. I have that one, and I have this one. Yeah, there's all sorts of stuff in here. All sorts of stuff in here. Here's a random like clip from like I think shoes. Like a blank dog tag, piece of like shell or something, empty pill bottle. So, binder clip. There's all sorts of random things in here. Some off-brand Legos. And satisfying clicks. I have a whole like box of random switches. I got them from my old job. The guy in charge of hardware was going to toss them out, and I was just like, I'll take those. I also have a whole thing of ended up with all sorts of really cool random technological excitable. I just ate a half tub of icing and I'm ready to kill God. Oh wow. But I've got all sorts of stuff. I've got all sorts of stuff that I could throw in here. And I'm okay with excitable. Excitable's fun. I'll put those away. I think I've got enough dice out. But yeah, the thing is figuring out how to attach everything. I've got all sorts of things in here. I kind of just went through everything that I had, just random stuff. I have all sorts of random things that I found. So, like I said, the thing is going to be figuring out how I want to attach all this, because yeah. Let's start figuring out what all we want, I think. Let's throw everything in here. I think I don't want this keyboard necessarily. Definitely want my name. Set that off to the side. I think I want this tassel hanging off the bottom. I think that'd be cool. Give it an hour and I'll start biting people, but for now, my blood sugar is 400% and I'm never gonna die. I'm pretty sure your blood sugar being 400% will kill you. But, you know. I mean, you know, when it happens, you can fight God then, I guess. See, here's the thing. Attaching things wise. Oops, let's not set that in paint. That'd be bad. I have other stuff over here too. I have so much stuff, guys. I was debating the sort of shape. Like, do I want things still sort of, do I want it to stick out more and more towards the bottom so that it's kind of a conical shape, so it looks like it's a stack of stuff? The problem I think with that is that I'm going to have things hanging down, and I don't know if that would look good with things hanging down. I don't know that I want this piece. See, I could do this and then cover it with other things, but I don't know if I want that. I don't know, I don't think this is recognizable as anything, which isn't necessarily a bad thing, but I think I'd rather have some more, I don't know, interesting things than something that's super patterned like that. Move this out of the way, because I keep trying to set things down. I don't want to get paint on it. What I was going to say, though, is that I have, like, some, like, foam clay stuff, air dry, that I could then put down and then shape the shape that I want. But I don't know. I'm debating how much depth I want this to have. I do want there to be layers. Okay. I have some of this. I'm going to start adding some of this stuff. I want some of it, you know, kind of sticking out over the edge of this brown part, because this is just kind of a guideline. And I'm going to start adding some of the bigger pieces that I have here. And this is also a piece of these headphones, but I don't. It has a brand on it, so I don't necessarily want that. Like a, I don't know. It's like a name. I don't know. I think I want some of the and this might be a little heavy. So this is the thing. I'm trying to figure out. Polydarium polydarium builders do, with the clay foam added and naturalized to look like stone or something for structure, and then the bigger pretty stuff goes on that. See, that's kind of what I was saying. I was gonna do that and then kind of make it, yeah, make it kind of neutral. I do want it to look like it's a stack of stuff, though, and not just stone with stuff on it. I want it to look like this bird is standing on a giant stack of things. If that makes sense. Oh, that would be cute in there, maybe. Like, I want it to look like this bird collected a whole bunch of stuff and has then proceeded to stack it all on top of each other. And I think I'm going to end up doing a little bit more. I think I need to do a little bit more painting, maybe. I think maybe I need to do a little bit more painting on here first before I attach everything, because at the moment it's all one color. And so it doesn't really... Yeah, more of a hoard. That's kind of what I'm going for, yeah. Kind of like a trinket hoard. Oh, this one, see, this is fairly flat, so that might be good up towards the top. That might be kind of good up by the top. And I think maybe that's how I need to think about this, is I want some of the flatter things towards the top. Yeah, some of the flatter things towards the top. And then I want to slowly make things go out a little bit more and more. And I think I'm not going to do the foam. I think I'm just going to, I think this is maybe about as thick as I want to get. Maybe this is about as thick as I want to get. And so I'll just get a little bit more, I'll add the thicker things towards the bottom. Let me see what I've got here. I've got other stuff I could pull out as well. I've got all sorts of things I could pull out. So let me start thinking about this. See, I like these right here that I've got going so far. I do actually like this tape. I don't know that I like all of these items They're almost a little bit too similar in size. I don't necessarily want... well, what is it that I'm trying to say? I want there to be still smaller things down at the bottom here so that it does look, although I could do this and then add things on top of it. I think that might be the way that I end up going. And there's some things here that are already built to be like dangling, which would be good to have off at the end. Oh, but see, I have like this. This might be nice. See, this I could put somewhere here and then have a whole bunch of stuff on it too. I have so much random stuff here. And again, like I said, my original plan was to have this bird with like a string of beads in its mouth. And then I was thinking I could have like... I was thinking of just having a little piece that kind of dangles here and then painting in behind it what looks like more beads that goes all the way down here, and then having kind of like the beads kind of in here as well. That's kind of my original thought. Kind of like a string of beads, and then it would kind of hang down. And see, the thing is I can do that because I can actually sew into this. This is canvas. It's fabric. It's, you know, it is actually fabric. All sorts of random pieces and stuff here. See, I think I'm liking this sort of vibe here up at the top, where I have like all of these kind of little things just sort of coming together. That's kind of coming down. This is almost like a puzzle a little bit. I'm kind of trying to like fit everything together so that I don't have a whole bunch of like empty gaps or anything. Like, see. I want to make sure that I fill in all my little spots. And I think that some of this I could add the first layer and then go back with like some little buttons and that sort of stuff and fill in some of these little areas as well. But I do definitely want to have, you know, some variation in color and stuff too. That's what this really comes down to, is trying to get everything kind of covered. Trying to get everything kind of covered, but making it look like it's kind of natural, I guess, natural-ish. I don't know. I think I kind of like that so far. They do. Look up, they do sell trinket hoards, basically. Are you talking about like tchotchkes or like random junk? Because both of those exist on Etsy. If you look up D-Stash, yeah, they have stuff like that on Etsy. I might have some of it saved. I'd have to go look, but sorry, I found candy. No, but look up like D-Stash or Junk Drawer. I was looking that up at one point because I was planning on making jewelry out of a whole bunch of this stuff. I've been collecting all this stuff. You can get lots of like broken jewelry and stuff too for like arts and crafts. I have a, yeah, there's stuff like that on Etsy. It does exist. Alright. I have some random little resin pieces that I made a long while back too that I could add in here. I'm going to buy moss and buttons and singular crochet needles, and no god nor mortal can stop me. Yep, what's up? There's a bottle cap. Okay, something like that might be good. I think that's a little bit flatter, which might be good. Oh, favorite trinket that I found. I really like sea glass. I have a small collection of like sea glass that I've gotten from like the beach and stuff. Yeah. I mean, I have all sorts of. Like I was saying, I didn't buy like all of this sort of stuff. Like, I have some rocks that are super smooth. I've had a ball bearing collection for a while. I have a little like jar upstairs that's in the living room, and it's basically all of like my favorite stim toy type things. I never pull them out, but it has like my ball bearing collection and just a little tiny like brass abacus that's really, really cool. I don't know where I got that. I don't know where I got the little tiny brass abacus. I might have bought it somewhere, but that's probably one of my favorite little trinkets. It's like this big, and it's brass, and it's just, I don't know, it has like a really nice like feel to it. It's like nice and heavy, and it click clacks nicely. Yeah, it's like sticking your hands in buckets of rice. That's nice too. I'll put these back. I'm slowly working my way down. I think I'm kind of liking this so far, and then, oh, excuse me, we will go back in afterwards and start adding smaller and smaller things. So like, I could use something kind of in this corner here, but I think I might have a button here or something, and it'll be easier to add it once. It'll be easier to add it once everything else is kind of stuck down. Where did that button go? There's like a little, there's a glass thing, so that might be good on top of something else. That's kind of what I'm saying. Like, I think maybe I need to kind of glue things down and then add more things on top of that. I think that's going to be the best way to do this. I think I need to start, yeah, I think I need to start kind of gluing things down, like the things that are kind of flat, and then I'll slowly add more and more stuff on top. So I do kind of want to do some of the larger things now, I think, because it'll be easier to then add things on top of the larger things. Alright. Because like, there's this, and I think that this is sort of flat enough that, I can glue something else on top of that. And see, there's going to be a lot of space kind of in between these, but I can stick stuff in here and then glue it down later. Let's see. Tie between that silver flower thingy you stole in middle school. Oh, it's one of the pictures of the tree shelf. Oh, okay. And random green crochet needle you found on the ground outside during last summer's lockdown. It's your favorite shade of green. You felt bad that it was just left alone like that, so you cherish it a lot. Oh, hey, you can't talk to me about being on one of those hoarder shows someday. Like I said, I just walked around my house and looked in all of my boxes of random junk that I've collected. I have all sorts of random stuff that I have saved. To be fair, hoarder, artist, I feel like there's a lot of overlap there, but, Yeah, I think I'm gonna need to... I think I have a kind of a plan. I'm gonna start gluing down some of the bigger items. I think I want this maybe almost right here. And I want it kind of sticking out like that. And then we're gonna be gluing down more stuff on top of it. So let me start attempting to glue down some of these bigger items. My brother gave me this glue, and it's supposed to be good on pretty much every sort of surface. So we're gonna try it. Because I think this is my best bet for getting things to actually stick. Yeah. So, I think the first thing I want to do is I want to glue down this plate. I want to glue down some of the bigger things. I want to glue down some of these bigger things. I don't know what that is. Is that an anime, or I am not versed in the animes. I like how this says it has bad fumes, and I'm just using it here right next to my face. Yeah, I'm smart. Put that like right here. I'm actually going to press that down, and then I'm gonna pull it up. And that's because I want to let that, ooh, I'm gonna let that cure for a moment. I think I'm going to glue this down as well. At least I've done that. Oh, hey, you know that paintbrush that doesn't have anything on it? Okay, I'll have to look it up. It makes me think of Alice in Wonderland. Is what it makes me think of, just because of the like teacup that's like half of the teacup. I actually have a teacup upstairs that's broken in half, and I've kind of thought about trying to do that to it. It's kind of sad that it broke in half, but also I think is the one that's broken in half the same one that's has like mercury gold or something. So I'm not going to be using it anyways. I don't remember. This is perfect. My dead paintbrush here. I'll just use it for... Oh! I should pull these out too and put those in. Alright, we're letting this just sit for a moment. Oh. I'm going to let it sit for just a minute or two before we put it back down. Because it'll help it actually adhere a little bit better. Alright, let me line this back up. Alright. Let's start gluing some of this stuff down. Here, actually, let me text that to myself so that I remember to actually look that up. Ushishi. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that correctly. I'm probably not. Ooh, that sounds interesting. Okay, let me message this to myself. Is it on like Crunchyroll or something? Okay. Ushishi? Okay. It's anime, but it's not anime. TM. Alright, let's add a little bit more of this. Maybe I should wear gloves with this too. Probably should. I probably should. Probably should be wearing more safety equipment with this. Probably would be smart on my part. But alas, I am not smart. I'm but a simple soul with 2.5 brain cells. There we go. Hopefully that stays down. Just kind of slide everything down a little bit, because I do actually, I think this stuff is in a good spot. Two seasons, but you've never seen one of them around. Watch it on completely legal websites and have very few issues finding. Okay. So something I'll be able to find one way or another, sounds like. Yeah, I think that'll be good for this key. It smells like glue in here. All right, it does sound, yeah, it sounds like something I can look around for. Sounds like something I'll be able to find. All right, put that down. I don't know where this pretty butterfly came from. I feel almost bad putting it on here. It's like, I should use this for something that's, I don't know, pretty or something. But glue is a fun smell. Glue. I should pull out, I pulled out a few, I had a mirror that broke a while back. So this is what I'm saying about me being a hoarder. So I have a mirror that broke a while back, and so I saved some of these pieces. So I feel like these might be cool to add somewhere here. Ooh, I feel like that's kind of a cool spot for that, and we can add some stuff around it. Maybe like that, add those there. I don't know, I could have a piece kind of underneath. It's all going to get somewhat covered up by other stuff. And part of the reason I want to do this is it's flat, so it'll stick down here really well anyways. Oh, because I was thinking about putting this here. Alright, I'm moving some of my stuff up and out of the way. So I have some of my bigger pieces that are going to go down towards the bottom. I'm always excited to hear about what people are excited about. I think it's fun. I'm glad that people have recommendations for things for me to watch. That's always fun. So maybe it might be a little bit too close to the top. I don't know. So I could go like this though too. Have it be kind of half underneath. That might be a bad spot, just because it's kind of, it goes down a little bit, but it's not too different in size. Not too bad, actually. Oh, and I don't mind that for that. I like that spot actually. Oh, should I do it upside down? How should I do this? Should I do it with the that side up? I think I like it better down. I think like that. And I kind of think that there's not bad for that. Yeah, I think let's do that. Might be a little bit more difficult to glue. And I don't think I'm not gonna get this done today by any means. And I might add some paint to it later too. I might end up adding a little bit of paint even into the mix. But I don't expect to get this done. I don't plan on streaming super long tonight. Just because there's a time change for me tonight. And I think I lose an hour of sleep, if I'm remembering correctly. So I'm like, I do have to get up tomorrow. Yeah, let's get the paper there. Whoops. I'm very thankful to my brother that he both had this glue and was willing to share it with me. I think this will work well. He apparently got it for arts and crafts projects. Or he's been saving it for it at the very least. He's like, yeah, I'm saving it for arts and crafts projects. Go ahead and use it. I know, I did too. I can't remember who mentioned it to me, and I was just like, oh no, really? I have that. I have it. I have it kind of like here. Right here. Yeah, I think I want it facing down a little bit more. I think I kind of like it there. Alright. Then I think we will add that over to there. I do like, this is a piece of polymer. Oh, this was a tester, it looks like. I think it's at 2 a.m. I don't remember why, but I think the time change, for some reason it takes place at like 2 a.m. I don't know why it does that, but it does, if I remember correctly. Ooh, let's put this down up here maybe. I like this piece. Oh, but we're gonna have the butterfly. Ooh, that might be nice though. not bad, kind of covering up the crane a little bit, but I think that there. Let me do this next, I think. This piece of polymer clay that I think my grandma made at one point. That's where I got all of my polymer clay from, is from my grandma. She doesn't really use it anymore, so I ended up with it. I do remember going over to her house as a kid and messing around with it, though, which was always fun. Yeah, if you've ever wondered where I got all my arts and crafts, my love of arts and crafts from, amusingly, actually, now that I think about it, I didn't really get it from my dad and my dad's... Okay, my dad has always done jewelry making as long as I remember. My grandma has done fused glass and polymer clay and stuff for as long as I remember, and my grandpa has done like oil painting for as long as I can remember. And it's kind of funny because I feel like my mom was always the one that got me arts and crafts stuff to a certain extent. Not like, you know, ooh, they're kind of like the. I might stack that there. That's kind of nice. I might stack that there. Okay. And I'm gonna add our butterfly here. Oh, actually, gonna add our butterfly there. Oh, even better, even better. Add our butterfly like this. I like that. And so this doesn't have a lot of surface area that's going to be attaching it, so I'm going to let it sit for a moment so that it attaches a little bit better. It's better to let it dry off for a little bit and then attach it. But I'm gonna slowly start building things up. And like I said, I think I'm gonna start with some of the bigger, flatter pieces, and then start adding stuff on top of it because I think it'll be easier to build that way. Add this like this. Sit down. I think the sticky parts. Is the sticky part even touching? Yes. Gotta get it. Yeah, hopefully that stays attached. I'm worried that that's not. Doesn't have a good. We're okay. I think we're okay. We're gonna have to find something to stick in here. I might have a button or something. Oh wait, actually. That's the thing with that butterfly. I thought I had a button somewhere here. How did this end up in here? I don't think I was planning on including that, but that's okay. Oh, I found a big button. I thought I had a little button. Oh, here's a little button. See, putting this in here might be good. Ooh, I think that's gonna be good. Except that now, I can't get it back out if I stop moving that butterfly. Alright. Yeah, just a little drop of glue. There we go. Ah! I totally just stuck this to my finger, which is probably not good. Probably not good to get this stuff on my skin. Get under there. And we're still gonna build up because I kind of want it to you not be able to. Kind of want it so they can't really see the brown too much. Hello. I'm adding stuff to my canvas here. It's you after wrestling Karens. Who won? That's the real question. I was literally just thinking, I was like, wasn't Jen the one that wanted me to work on the crow painting? Like, I wonder where they're at. Cheese telepathy? Is it just like all lesbians like cheese or something? Is that what's going on? I'm afraid I don't know. But hello, welcome. glad you could stop by. I have, put that there. Cheese vibes. I don't know, it sounds kind of cheesy. Hey. I would say mozzarella. Mozzarella's good. I do like mozzarella. Look, I have a little fish too. There's a little fish. I have to explain. It's okay. It's okay. I don't have to understand everything. I kind of like the fish there. I feel like that's a good spot for the fish. Yeah, I was saying though, I don't plan for this to be a super long stream. Probably another half an hour. Just because I do have time change tonight and I have to get up tomorrow. Noise is sharp cheddar if you don't like it. I mean, I can understand this to a certain extent. Like, sharp cheddar is just kind of strong. I feel like sharp cheddar is a little, yeah, it's kind of sensory overload to a certain extent. Sometimes, though, you know, it's nice to have a lot going on. Sometimes it's not nice to have a lot going on. It's just like, oh yes, I do like loud, bright noises. Other times it's like, I do not like loud, bright noises. Alright, so there's some pieces of mirror. Can't really see here. Yeah. And we're going to add more stuff over the top. Got that stuck down. Ooh, maybe kind of right in there for that. I don't know. I kind of like it with the hook hanging off, maybe. I think maybe kind of like that. That's kind of nice. I think we're going to do that. Although at the same time, I kind of like that this opens and closes. But it probably wouldn't work so well. I don't know. Oh, Parmesan is also a very strong flavor, yeah. Like being dragged out with friends when you originally didn't want to, but it turns out good. Or loud music you like. Cheese telepathy. Yeah, it's kind of like the hook hanging down. But also, but do I want to be able to open it is the thing. If I want to be able to open it, I'd have to put it probably on a corner. Just so it has something to push against, but I don't think so. I think that would be too much trouble. So I think it's going to go there, maybe. I think that's a good spot. And glue that on. I wish to draw, but the Karen knife fight taxes me. You could always draw a Karen knife fight. I feel like there's something funny about that. Just, I don't know. Bunch of soccer moms with knives. But I want to make more pretty lighting. All the stuff that you've been posting in the Discord recently, all of the lighting is so pretty. Like, I don't know, the use of like color in the lighting and stuff, it makes me think of some like I don't know, just I feel like it would translate really well to like photography and stuff too. If you started to do like portraits and you did the lighting like you do in your art, it would translate really, really well. I do still think just a picture of like two Karens having a knife fight though would be funny. Edgy teenage coping mechanisms are good sometimes. And I think I do like this in the plate here. So let's attach this thing. You with one sword versus an army of Karens. That would also be funny, yes. I'm just imagining, like, you have to be in, like, some sort of customer service get up, like wearing an apron or something. I feel like that's a required. But also you have a sword now. Yeah, exactly. You're just in your job uniform, but also with a sword. So now, yeah, yeah. Work issue rapiers. Okay, that's gonna take. Well, that kind of settle into place a little bit. It's still... don't know how well this is going to attach. I might need more. I'm going to add quite a bit. Add more. You're selling an original Sad Boy Royale because you have his pose down in your brain. I mean, valid. I mean, if you must, you know, draw what you want to draw instead of fighting off a whole bunch of Karens with a rapier, you know, I guess that's fine too. But no, if you're tired, you know, don't stress yourself out. It's cool to take a break too. We're gonna see if that holds. It may or may not. But I think I like the, I do like having the paint there. Alright, we're slowly building things up. There's, you know, there's still brown spots and stuff in here. I'm already physically fighting the Karens, drawing them emotionally. Imagine the toll. I'm imagining. I am glad that I didn't have to deal with too many Karens at my old job. Every once in a while there was someone that was just like, felt like they were entitled to stuff, and it's just like, why? Why? But this seems like a lot of black for that area. Let's see, you're planning a campaign and you're borrowing a friend's very good 200-plus-year-old grandma dwarf. That's fun. That sounds like a fun character. Alrighty. So I am tempted to, so I have a couple of containers here, and I'm kind of tempted to like put something in this before attaching it. So like have something that's like in here. I don't know, there's something fun about that. Or having it where it's like sticking out like this and you can take it off and there's something inside of it or something. That might be kind of fun. I could also drill a hole in it and have this being one of the dangling things. But I have a couple of containers here. We'll leave that other half of the plate. This is going to be hanging off of the end. Oh, wait. It's not a perfect solution for now, but I'll just... No, I have it on that hip. Alright. It's probably not going to stay there. Oh! Gotta go grab your plant. Oh no! It's a good thing you remembered. Good thing you remembered. Okay, so here's some things that will be dangling off of it. I think I might also make... See, the other thing I can do with like this stuff is I could make some like mushrooms and stuff to make it look like there's like mushrooms growing out. Maybe I'll do that. Maybe I'll make like a mushroom and make it look like it's growing out here or something. We're slowly building things up. Oh, but I should continue to add some of the flat things. See, I might have that hanging off. That might be good. I think I want this hanging off. Oh, here's a good flat thing. I found a bread thingy. I think I'll put that there. That's a good spot for that. Tell you what, how about at the 2.5 hour marks? We're at 2 minutes, and so we've got about 20 minutes. We finish up this stuff, and then I think I have stuff in the pressure pot at the moment. Maybe we'll end off the stream with unmolding some stuff, seeing how things turned out. Or are people interested in seeing what's in the pressure pot? Yeah. Never mind. Exclamation marks. I was gonna say, are people interested in that? But it sounds like at least Jen is interested in that. Ooh, see, that might be good there. I think that's good there. I mean, oh, flipping it over, that's gonna fit there really, really well. You got here late, so you must see content. Feed me. Alright, let's... Alright, let's add some glue to this little arrowhead thing. I don't know where this came from. It doesn't seem like an actual arrowhead, but maybe it is. Alright, I'm going to put that there. Get that to stick down, hopefully. Slowly build things up here. I like the, yes, I'm trying to add some of the bigger stuff towards the bottom, and then we'll add some of our, oh, well, hey, yeah, exactly, at least your plant's still good. Nice of your grandpa to bring it in, too. So, you know, do this, and then we're going to start adding some stuff over top as well. I have kind of smaller things up here at the moment, some larger things down here, because we're going to be adding some smaller things on top of the larger things as it goes towards the bottom. That's kind of the plan anyways, kind of build up a lot of the shape that way. See, let's do those random containers here. Oh, should we add one of my failed dice, maybe? Should we add that? Ooh, right there's kind of nice. Don't want to add it there. Let's add one of them there. We're going to add one of my failed dice right here. Maybe should have sanded that down so it was flatter on that side, but that's okay. Didn't think that through beforehand. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. I totally just got more of the glue on my hand, which I was trying to avoid. Alright, glue that down. He's growing cucumbers and had the little seedlings out in the sun since it was nice today, so your 4-year-old jade tree went out with them. Oh, that's nice. That way I got some sun too. Sun, you get sun and you get sun. Alright. I grabbed some just like random old resin things that I had as well. I had some just random old, like, some of the first, you know, resin type charms that I made. This one's actually not bad. These were all pre-pressure pot though, which is it's kind of interesting looking back at them and being like, oh, look at all the bubbles. None of my things have bubbles anymore. But I could probably put, you know, some of these I was planning to have maybe hanging. But some of these would probably attach to. I also found some like Woman's Canvas, Royale will cry. Some old like polymer clay things that I found as well. It's like, I don't know what exactly this is, but you know, I can add that to my weird oh, see that could go right there actually. That's a good spot for that. Maybe that's a good spot for that. Maybe right there, actually. I think right there is an even better spot. I'm gonna add that there. There's all sorts of random stuff on here. If I can pick it up, there we go. She needs a new pot. You're gonna transplant her next week, and you're both excited and terrified because if you kill her, more emotionally invested in the one plant than you've ever been in a plant before. She's been with you for so long, and you grew her from a single leaf. Oh wow, that's very cool. My my brother has 3 citrus trees that he's been growing, and the pots that they're in are like R.I.P. sad butterfly tongue. The pots that they're in are getting a little bit small. I don't know if he's just putting it off because he just hasn't gotten around to it, or if he's also worried about accidentally killing them when he replants them. Because they need to go in bigger pots as well. It's one of those things that he keeps talking about doing and hasn't gotten around to yet. And I'm the kind of person that will talk about doing something and then never get around to it because I'm like worried that I'm going to mess it up. I don't know that he's the same way though. That might just be me. Sorry. I have candy. I only have one more though if it makes you feel better. Maybe like that. Not having too many round shapes over in this corner actually. I don't know if I like that. I might like it better there because then it doesn't have the shape going exactly the same. So I think maybe we'll stick that there. Seems like a good spot. Alright. More glue! I'm already getting all sorts of glue all over the nozzle of my brother's craft glue. Alright. Let's put that in there. Hopefully kind of press down. Alright. I think this will turn out. I'm slowly building stuff up. Do I want that there? It's not a good spot for it, but I do worry. Oh, you know what I could do? I could always attach it to the bottom of the canvas. I'm not sure on that one yet. There's a random drill bit. This is what I'm saying though, I have a hoarding problem. Okay, that's kind of fun there though. I don't know why that amuses me so much, but it does. Oh, you know, I could put a seashell. That might be too much white over there, but I do like the shape. Or I could use something that's just like a different color over here. Oh, maybe I could put one of the switches over here. Oh, this might be a good spot for one of the switches, although then it would be hard to clicky-clacky. But I think that's going to end up being kind of hard to clicky-clacky anyways. I think we'll put the switch here. I think that's a good spot for that. It fills in that space nicely. And it's not like another super round thing, which is kind of what I was running into with some of the other pieces. I felt like there's a lot of just like round things over on that side. So let's get this all gooped up. Oh, Japan is in charge. No! Oh, I totally just got some of my goop out here, and it doesn't look great. Let's do a little bit of this. Yeah. Fueled by half a can of icing, yeah. Oh dear. You guys are dangerous. You guys are dangerous. You're even more dangerous together. There we go. Put that in there. Kind of grates together a little bit, which is a little, but I think it's good there, as long as it'll stay down. I'll probably add a few more things that'll hopefully help to keep things in place as well. Ooh, I can put that caps lock there. That'll be good. That'll help cover some stuff as well. Alright. Like I said, this is kind of fun. It's kind of like a puzzle almost. You know, trying to fit things together so that there's no gaps. A circle of mirrors around a black hole. Infinite power. Ah, is this how we're making our perpetual movement machiner? Black holes are scary. Maybe that's just me. I think this will be easier to grab with that. Nope, it's gonna be easier to grab with my fingers. And in our little caps lock key there, it's a very flat caps lock key. Just gonna catch that. And like I said, we're gonna be adding like smaller and smaller and more pieces. And something like this where it's super clear, I'm gonna wanna add like on top of something. Probably so that it's, you know, it's not just showing the, oh, see, it might be fun to attach something like that there. Torn beet. Oh, you want a bee spaghetti. Sorry, I was thinking maybe you were debating what you wanted to eat. I didn't read the, you know, the sentence where you said I want a bee spaghetti. I assumed that you were either, you're like, do I want spaghetti for dinner or do I want a mummy out of a bog? The glass thingies. You used to eat those? Do you just like swallow them or what? I have some littler ones too. I also have some like kind of amber colored ones, but I didn't actually pull any of those out because I didn't want to open the pack. Did you just like swallow them whole like pills? How? I don't think I could swallow that whole like a pill. What do I want to add now? Oh, see, I actually had 2 bottle caps, so I could add this one this direction too. I like them and also coins. Oh dear. I feel like this shouldn't surprise me. You know, you see, I have infinite power. I'm gonna put these over here. These are things that we're going to have dangling off of the end. Oh, we add the squishy. I think we'll add this squishy bit here. And then we'll add maybe our dinosaur friend in the middle. I feel like that's a good place for our dinosaur friend. An actual note in your campaign is literally, these 2 characters will interact. I'm going to sob if they talk even casually. Dare I ask why? Is it in like a good way or in a bad way? Sorry, just a second. Why? I don't know your characters as well. What makes it emotionally compelling when they're gonna interact? Ah, they got like a thing going on. Got like a thing going on. Oh dear. All right, let's see. I think dinosaur in there. I still want to put a dinosaur in there. I don't know why. It appeals to me. So we're gonna add a dinosaur. I gotta think about how I'm gonna attach it. So it's gonna be attached Try this. Hopefully this stuff is strong enough that all this stuff doesn't just fall off. I'm hoping. Alright. Do my hair tall, check my nails. Royale's a sad boy with a troubled past, and connecting to people via trauma and grief is hard, so he channels that by being broody and a little horny. Call the MC has reached out to him before when he was like turbo nonverbal and rejecting any good from it. Just Dino Pocket. So it sounds like they'll be good for each other, or at least one of them will be good for the other. Kind of like that there. Let's do that. Alright, and then I think that'll be about good, and we'll pull some stuff out of the pressure pot. Alright. Beta, liking butterflies? Or characters with butterfly thematics? No. Oh, I kind of want to add this googly eye somewhere, though. Wish we had the googly eye. I might just have it there for now. I want to add the googly eye, though. Slaps every bug motif. I'm just imagining slaps every bug motif. Man, this thing can fit so much love from Beta in it. I do like, yeah, bugs are cool. Alright. Let me throw my stuff back in here. Oh, yeah, I forgot about this too. I have a random. These are also. Alright. I think we'll call that good for tonight on this. Hopefully everything kind of holds its shape. I think I'm probably going to try and store some of this stuff flat. I'm going to have to. I can't tilt it up that way, but we're going to let this dry for the 24 hours or whatever. It needs like at least 20. Ooh, it's rather heavy now. I'm going to let that cure for 24 hours. Set that there for now. And then, let's see. I just double check here. The way that I test to see if things are cured enough for me to pull them out is I kind of take one of the cups that I mix things in. Oh, I think I just heard a cat above me. Sorry, I was like, what is that thunking sound? It might have been like a cat jumping off my bed or something. It's still a little bit gummy, but it is enough that we can pull it out. All right. So let's see how things in the pressure pot turned out. I am going to mute for just a moment, just because it gets a little bit loud when I release the air out of the pressure pot. So give me just 1 second. All right, there we go. Now here, I would angle so you could see, but I have so much stuff stacked on the table over here at the moment for the painting. And I'm just gonna open this up and bring it over. I made dice fairly late last night, which is why, I was waiting until at least now to unmold them. Get them out. No, come back. Alright, so half of these don't have lids at the moment because they're not finished. I was just doing one layer and I want to try doing, another layer of that. That Kind of ended up a little funky. That's okay though. This is going to be a keychain. The stars ended up like kind of half floating. That's a little weird. Doesn't want to see. The stars in there didn't end up flat, which is just a little weird. Don't know why they did that, but that's okay. Alright, that's for a keychain to go with. Alright, let's start unmolding some things. I have to remember what I made. Oh, this is, yeah. I don't, put this over. I'm having difficulty with the D20 with a B in it. Okay. And the reason I'm having trouble is that, so the B floats. So I tried doing half, actually this one might be a little bit better, but it's not great. It floats, so I tried doing, you know, half with clear resin and putting the B in there, and then doing the other half with clear resin. The problem is that then the B kind of floated to one side. You can see here it still ended up on one, it floated to like one side, and I think that happened again. I tried it one more time where I you know, put the B in there. Might be a little bit better because now it's kind of, it's a little bit more centered. I don't know if you'll be able to find it. You can kind of see it. It's a little bit more centered, but it's still kind of got its face pressed up against one side. So I'll try that one. I'll fill that one in. But I think I'm gonna need to try something different to get that B centered better. I did already make, did I put that in here? Yeah, put it in here. I did already make one, I don't know, this might be the way to go, where it floated to the top. Oops, it floated to the top, but then at least, you know, it's kind of centered with the it's at the top, but it's over by the highest face. And I think I like that better than this one, because this one you can kind of see where the layers were, and I don't really like that. So I'm going to figure out, I might try building a little bit of a framework. I'm not sure yet. What is this one? Oh, this is all sorts of, this is my spare resin. Alright, D12 up. There's a die with all the miscellaneous resin. I went and looked through my box of like miscellaneous dice the other day, and I'm like, I need more D12s. That seems to be what I'm missing. So that'll go into my box of miscellaneous dice for if people order, you know, mystery raw sets. Ooh, I'm curious to see how these turned out. I tried making watermelon dice. So let's see if the watermelon dice turned out. Alright. And I'm kind of proud of myself because I put a watermelon seed in each of these. Like an actual watermelon seed, and I'm like, I think they'll float. I wasn't positive. I think the pink should have been a little bit darker. Didn't quite turn out. Didn't quite turn out how I was hoping. It's not terrible. But I think the pink probably should have been a little bit darker just to combat the green. Because it kind of made the green almost, oh, not the green, the pink seems almost a little bit muted, I think, because of the green behind it. Well, I do actually like the green side, though. A little bit hard to see, but I do like the green side. I did a couple of different green colors. Alright. D12 up. Put my molds away as I go. Makes it easier. Yeah. And this is another. Yeah, I like the green. Seems like the pink wasn't saturated enough, though. Or maybe I should have made one layer of like opaque pink. Opaque pink, that's fun to say. Oh, here's a D4 that's just the greens. There's a D4 that just has the greens. which, I mean, I like it with just the greens. I put a little bit of blue in there too. All right. Oh, this is another one of the watermelon ones. This is D20. I think I just have this set. Yeah. I don't mind it. I think it is kind of fun with the watermelon seed in there. But yeah, the pink could have been a little bit bolder. The other set that's in here is I tried. Oh, the D4, yeah. I did try to make the cloud dice one more time, the ones with the gold outline. We'll see how these turned out. I have my fingers crossed. Well, we're gonna see. Ooh. This might be the one. I mean, I'll have to message the person, but I like how the colors turned out on this. See if it'll focus. It never likes to. There we go. You can see. I don't know if it's, you know, cloudy enough, sort of. I feel like I could have done a little bit more of a layering, but I do like that the white made it up into the clear a little bit more. So I'll definitely take photos of those, send those off. D20 down. Here we go. That goes there. These sets have been kind of a pain to make. It takes a long time to add that gold beforehand. Yeah, the gilt. Yeah, I've been kind of referring these to as the like gilded clouds or something like that. The gilded part, I guess, is a pain to do. It takes me a couple hours because I'm taking acrylic paint and painting it into the molds. But you know, I made more than one set of these. I kind of was just like, hey, do you want me to try it again? As kind of an excuse to make more, just because they've been looking so pretty. So some of these will definitely end up in my shop. Not this set necessarily, but a couple similar. It doesn't want to focus. There we go. Yeah, and that is why the lines and everything aren't perfect or anything. It's because they're hand painted in there. D12 down. What is this one? They're gonna be a little bit more pricey though than a lot of the sets that I put in there, because like I said, they take so much. Who? What? Verona? What? Oh, this was the spare. That was another one. That was a D8 with spare resin. That's right, I forgot. I have some of your repours in here, Beta. That's what I was forgetting about. Twice the dice for all your other characters. Yeah, yes, she deserves them. Yeah, we'll see which ones we end up. She's your first D&D character and also your beloved. That's cool. Yeah. Here, I think this is one of them. This is the D8. We'll see how they turned out. I think this one ended up maybe a little bit lighter than I was going for, but we'll see. Ooh, actually, the gold butterfly is a little difficult to see. I did it slightly different, so you can get another repour on this one if you want, because I did do it slightly different than I did the other one. But that's because I didn't want the gold butterfly to be too hard to see, but it's still a little bit hard to see. But here, I'll show you anyways. See if it'll. And there's this 8. You can see, you can kind of see it there, but it got covered up a little bit. Over here. So, like I said, I didn't end up doing this exactly the same as the other one because I was trying to make it so that you could see the gold butterfly a little bit better. Because I've noticed that like the alcohol ink tends to get underneath it, which makes it more difficult to see. So you can get another repour on this one if you want. All right, D8 down. But hopefully, aha! It's still a little bit soft, but I think maybe it will cure. Let's see how the Petri turned out. Yeah, this one seems. It's still soft here at the top, but I think it will cure. But here's the Petri. It's not even that the butterflies are causing problems. It's just that the combination of the butterfly with using alcohol ink, the alcohol ink likes to make it in between the butterfly and the side of the mold. Yeah, I think that turned out. Let that one cure. But yeah, it's because of the how I'm doing the dirty pour. Helps if I put this on correctly. There we go. That's a D6 down. And then I think those were the only two. Oh, then the blue one. Let's see how the blue one turned out. So we're going for kind of a blue to light blue ombre. Oh, good. I'm glad you like the Petri. I'm gonna let that one cure a bit. I didn't get the ombre very well. I added so much iridescent foil that you can't even see the. You can't really see the silver on the inside. So I did try putting the silver into the middle. It didn't really get the ombre too much. It's slightly lighter blue on one side, but it didn't really. We could retry this one more time too. I think that one's on me. I probably, to be fair, this is one of the moments where if I wasn't doing this on stream, I probably wouldn't have sent this one to you, and I probably would have just reported it to try and get the ombre better. So, you know, we can have a report on that one too. Try and get more of a distinction between the dark and the light blue. D6 down. Yeah, every once in a while, I've said this before, I don't send people photos of one of the repours if I'm not like completely happy with it. It's actually sometimes, even if I'm not completely happy with it, I will send a photo because I'm just like, I don't know that this is exactly what I was going for, but they might like this. You kind of like it? All right. Yeah. I was just thinking that it wasn't a big distinction between the dark blue and the light blue. That was my only real concern with it, but it does have lots of good sparkles. Let's see if I can get it background. See if I can get it to focus. There we go. There's a little bit of a distinction between the dark and the light blue, but yeah, can't really. There is silver foil in there that I put in the middle, but can't even see it. There's so many sparkles. Alright, here's another one with watermelon ones. And there's the 4. Up. If you like it though, I'm happy to finish up that one. Yeah. It's always, Oh yeah, it is. Yeah, it is there. It's just very subtle. All right, cool. I'll polish up that one. We'll maybe try the D8 one more time, but I don't know if the it's extremely blue. That's yeah. D not up. Okay. Cool. I'll get that one cleaned up then. We'll maybe retry the D8, but yeah, it's like I said, it's kind of the combo of the using alcohol ink. So for the dirty pour, to get the like kind of fine line effects, so all of the black in here was just me taking a drop of alcohol ink and putting it on top of the cup of resin before pouring it into the mold. It's not really, it never likes to focus. Yeah, so all those black lines, which, you know, I do love the effect. It's me taking a drop of black ink and putting it on top of the resin and then pouring it into the mold. But the thing is that the ink likes to make its way all the way to against like the silicone, which means that it got in between the butterfly in here. You can kind of see the butterfly there. The butterfly and the mold, so it's a little bit harder to see. I mean, there's, yeah, I can always, yeah, I don't think I'm gonna be able to get both those really fine lines and the butterflies to show up, which is I think that's what it's ultimately gonna come down to. I think it's gonna be a one or the other sort of thing. I mean, I could just not coat the butterfly in UV resin. It would stick more firmly to the side then, and I shouldn't need to sand that side, but it might be prone to scratching a little bit. I don't know. Like I said, my concern there would be that. Okay. Do you like this one, or I can pull out the other ones too, and you can kind of have your pick as well. Where did I put the other ones? I might have thrown them in here for now. You've got your pick of which dye you would like as well. Yeah, I can show these to you probably a little bit better. Yeah, this one, I think this one has, you know, the nice black stripes. That's the one we just pulled out. The last one we did, I tried to do it without the, it didn't end up with any of the stripes because I did it without the ink, which I think is, oof. There we go, you can kind of see. See, the butterflies are easier to see because I don't have any of that alcohol ink in between, but you don't have any of like the stripes from the alcohol ink. And then the one before that has all of the, they're also kind of difficult to see because you have the white, oops, you have the white alcohol ink that's gotten in the way. But again, you have all those stripes, but it's maybe a little bit lighter. But yeah, you do have your pick of which ones you would like. D8 up. That's down. This goes over here. I have two kinds of molds. I have ones with the highest number on top and ones with the highest number on the bottom. I'm just making sure I put them in the right spots over here because I have them sorted out by which type it is, and then also which dye it is. I think the colors turned out good in this one. All right. I'm kind of happy. I feel like these turned out how I was thinking. I don't know if this is the set that the person's gonna want or not, but I'm glad that I kind of got what I was trying to do. I feel like that's always kind of satisfying when it does what I want it to do. Though that one is a little lighter than you'd hope, but it's singing. Oh, the one with the silver and the gold. This one. It is still a dirty pour for sure. It just doesn't have like the kind of stripes like the other one. Do you think this one? Yeah, this one has the butterfly showing up the best, just because I don't have the alcohol ink in it. cool. We'll do that one then. I'll add that one to my stack over here. Perfect. And then I was thinking about it, and don't worry about that extra D8. I'll send that along instead of an extra D4. The one that looks like marble. Okay, that works out. Alright, there's D8 down. If that works for you. D8 down, there we go. I think I have, I got at least one of them sanded today. I have one that I need to do more sanding on, but that means that your dice are all made, which is nice. 6 down. Oh. Well, it'd be instead of the D4. If I'm sending you the D8, it would be in place of the D4, which I usually send like an extra D4 along. So if you're cool with it being in place of the D4, then it's fine. But if you want the D4 as well, then I'll figure out a price. It wouldn't be very much. I have kind of a, the dice themselves are not necessarily, I have kind of like a scale that I've sort of figured out. But basically for commissions, I have like a base price, and then I have like a certain cost like per die then. So like commissions are like, D10 down, okay. And I don't know if everyone does this way, but I kind of do it because I figure there's a certain base amount of work that doesn't really matter how many dice I'm doing. Unless it's like a single die, then I might do something a little bit lower. But like, you know, every commission is like 15 or 20 bucks, and then I have like each die is then like $2.50 or something like that. I think that might be what it is for D6 sets actually. 35 for 4, is that right? So 15, no wait, that's not right. I'd have to look it up, I don't remember. I came up with a formula at one point just so that I had kind of a accurate scale, but adding one more die is not gonna be too much. D4 down. Alright, well, I think that's everything. I'll show you all of these. So I need to figure out my bees here. I think that's what I really need to do, is figure out how I'm going to do these bees. This one's my favorite so far, but it's just, they float, which is just kind of an issue. I saw someone suggest like filling the bees with resin first. I need to figure out how to do that without breaking the bees. My watermelon ones ended up just, you know, the pink needed to be just a little bit stronger, I think. So, you know, this is a set where I'm like, I don't know how it turned out, but I think I could do them better next time and make them look nicer. And then we've got this set here, oops, which I'm going to need to take a picture of right after this. Send it over to the person that commissioned them. And I feel like these turned out really well, so I'm excited about this. We'll see how. Stabilizing resin for the bees. I'd have to have a vacuum chamber for that, I think. Works for wood. You don't know about bugs. Might need. Yeah, a vacuum chamber. Yeah, as I was saying, I'd probably need a vacuum chamber for that. I think my dad has like a vacuum bell thing, but I think you need to leave it in there for longer. I don't know. Oh, thank you, Past. I hope that finals are treating you well. That's stressful, so good luck on those. I do think that I'm going to start finishing things up for the night. We'll work more on this painting probably at some point. Yeah. Oh yeah, I didn't even think about it being finals. My finals have always been when I was in college, they were always right around my birthday, which is just like, oh, seriously? I have to study for finals on my birthday? What's the date today? What is the 13th? Oh, so my birthday's next Friday. My birthday's in less than a week. Oh, that's weird. I'm getting old, guys. Now you guys know my birthday, too. That's probably dangerous. Do you guys want my social security number and mother's maiden name, too? Yeah, good luck on finals. Alright, anyways, finishing things up for tonight. We'll work some more on this painting later. It might be a little bit, you know, we've been kind of working on it off and on while working on other things. We should be back to our regularly scheduled resin on Wednesday. We'll be back to that. So, yeah, I do stream every Wednesday and Saturday at 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, same time as this. So if anybody ever wants to come hang out, that's when and where you can find me. Thanks for hanging out, guys, and I'll hopefully see you guys on Wednesday. Good luck on finals, and have fun. Bye!